It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission really is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Erica Hill, and she's in the building talking about smart money moves for entrepreneurs. Woo, what a topic. What's going on, Erica? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you to viewers for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show. So we appreciate you being here and allowing us to stream into your home or into your office, or maybe we're on your ear pods right now, wherever we are. Thank you. Before we get started, I've got to address the elephant in the room, since we're talking about smart money moves. And the question's got to be in front of everybody's mind right now, and is, why are people today still struggling to create wealth or be financially free at a time where they have AI that can tell them how to spend their money, by the way? They have all the apps on their phone that shows them where the money goes, yet you would think we were back in the 1980s. So my question is, why are people still struggling these days?
You know what? You just said something that was very important. You said it's like we're back in the 1980s. Well, some people are in the 1980s. Actually, they're in the 1900s when it comes to their mindset. Because I don't know about you, but growing up for me, no one ever taught me anything about money. Like in everything that I heard, let me tell you my money 101 class. It was go to college, get a degree, get a good job, put your money in the bank, and that was it. That's all I heard about money. Like, that's it. Now, in the meantime, I heard a bunch of negative things like we can't afford that. Put that back, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow, just a whole bunch of negative stuff. So being that I came from the do-it-yourself model when it came to dealing with money, I had all kind of money struggles. And most entrepreneurs out there are having the same issue because no one ever taught them about money. They're just trying to learn on their own.
And okay, we'll take that for a group of folks that nobody just told them about it. What do you talk to the people who are like Che Brown? I'm the only one, okay? There's not a therapy session, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure I'm the only one who, found out about what he should be doing, read about what he should be doing. I've even joined Facebook groups and a lot of cool stuff online on what I should be doing. And yet I found myself about 10, 15 years ago where I was back upside down again. So what do you say to the person that's already heard all of this? And again, it's an unfair answer, ladies and gentlemen. It's an unfair question, but she can handle it. They've heard all this. Why do you think we're still struggling to take the steps and do the things that we should be doing?
You know why, Shay? Because a lot of people haven't developed their own personal relationship when it comes to money. They see money as something outside of themselves. They look at money like it's like that green sheet of paper. That's not what money is. You're the money. Money is an energy and it's an inside thing. So once you actually, and a lot of us, to be honest with you, have money blocks. We don't know it. Like me, I didn't know anything about no money blocks. I wasn't taught money was no energy. I didn't know anything about money being an inside game. I looked at that dollar and that whatever dollar amount was in my bank account, that was the money that I had. But I never developed an intimate relationship with money. And being that, I heard a bunch of negative things growing up about money, there was a fear there that I didn't even know subconsciously that I had to deal with before I could actually, put those different procedures and systems and strategies in place, and they would actually stick. Because now I have that relationship with money, and me and money are like really good friends. So I want to take care of it, and I know it's going to take care of me. It's a totally different conversation.
Well, we're going to get into that because you talk about you can move from hustler into being a legacy builder. It's one of your jams. But folks are probably listening and saying, Shay, I'll be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to read her bio. Someone saying, Shay, as famous as she is, I'm meeting her for the very first time. I don't even know her backstory. I don't even know. It sounds good, but who is Erica? What's her backstory? And what was that defining moment that led her to doing what she's doing now? So do you mind, for the folks that are meeting for the first time, tell me about who are you and what was the backstory that led you to doing what you're doing now?
So I basically help business owners actually scale and grow their business by getting them access to capital. Now, was I always this person that was really good with money? Absolutely not. I just told you my backstory. Like all I was taught is get a good job, get a degree. Well, get a degree first so you can get a good job. Work for somebody, do a really good job, work really, really hard, and put all your money in the bank. That was my Money 101 class, period. But yeah, I have a degree in business finance. I did everything that people told me to do, but still I was struggling with when it came to money. I did really, really good in corporate America. I actually ended up owning a mortgage company and buying a whole bunch of investment properties. And guess what? The market crashed and I lost everything. I lost everything. Now, here I am because I also have over 20 plus years of experience as a mortgage underwriter. That's what led me to starting my own company. So here I am, the one that's actually approving you or denying you for a house. And now here I am, I will be the one getting denied for a house because I had to file bankruptcy. So I had to, that crushed me, you guys, because my identity was wrapped up in who I thought I was. If you would have met me back in the day, I would have said, "Hi, I'm Erica, and I own a mortgage company." That was my identity. My ego was attached to what I was doing, not really who I really was internally. So that crushed me. That really crushed me because I had to start all over from scratch. And I met this really wealthy person that turned my whole life around. They taught me the ins and out of what the wealthy do that the average person doesn't do. And one of those things was they leverage everything. They're not bootstrapping their business. They're not paying their business expenses and stuff out of their business checking account or using their personal credit cards to scale and grow their business. They leverage everything. So that was a game changer to me because I've never known anything about leveraging other people's money. Everything I did came out of my own business bank account, sometimes my own personal account. Sometimes I had to lend money, from my personal accounts to float the business. So that within itself was a game changer. But I decided, I'm also a licensed financial professional. I decided that I was not going to be the secret squirrel in my community and that I was going to actually share that knowledge like someone did to me because it made a profound difference in my life.
Profound difference in your life, and congratulations on that, by the way. And let's talk to two type of individuals as we move forward. Let's first talk to the person who is an entrepreneur, and if you're a dualpreneur, you're an entrepreneur, by the way. Welcome to this world. And I love what you always talk about, which is you're not just trying to figure it out, you create the freedom. And you're not trying to find it, but you create it. I love that. We'll get into that later. But I want to talk to the person that's like, look, I'm an entrepreneur and I just got to get some type of financial security. Like I'm trying to get 6 to 12 months in the bank. Okay. Just so I can get 6 months in the bank. I'm there, Erica. Without knowing their situation, because everybody's differently, what's one or two or three things that you would suggest to that person? And don't worry if you're out there, you're like, Shay, I'm cool. I got 12 months in the bank. I'm doing okay. But I reached a point right now when I want to be more independent. I'm going to ask her, what should you be looking at? What should you be doing? But first, we want to help those that are like, I just want to get 6 months saved up. What is step one, step two, step three that you would say to that person?
So the first thing you have to do is you got to look at your numbers. You have to know your numbers. You need to know, what's coming in your account and what's actually going out of your account. And sometimes it's easy as when you know those numbers, you can actually look to see, wait a minute, I'm paying such and such a month when I don't have to. I have I don't know if you were like me, but I have a lot of automated things coming out my account. I just set it up on auto pay and kind of forgot about it. So when I really got serious about, taking my money to the next level and I started looking at those numbers, I'm like, I have 3 gym memberships. I have a personal trainer. I had all these things that were coming out my account that didn't need to. So that within itself, when I stopped those things, I was able to redirect that money someplace else. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do is you got to know those numbers. Then negotiate. Like it could be some of your utility bills or something that you're paying reoccurring. They could be reoccurring bills. Call the companies and negotiate. You'll be surprised sometimes when you call your gas bill or light bill or water bill and, negotiate the rates down with them. They're willing to do that with you. Take that extra money that you're saving and put it into the reserves. So when you're saying, I want to develop 6 to 12 months, first you got to find out what that end number is. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, that your monthly expenses are like $5,000 a month, and you're actually bringing in $7,000 a month. Well, your disposable income right off the gate is $2,000. So, and when you probably look through some of those expenses, you can probably get it higher than that. So once you know those numbers, then divert it out. But another question you want to ask yourself is, when you're putting money in reserves, am I earning any money in this money that I'm holding? If you're putting it in like a regular savings account, because checking accounts, they don't give you nothing. The banks don't give you nothing, period, nothing, nada. You're not earning anything on that money. You're just holding it in their facility. That is it. But if you put it in a savings account, try like a high yield savings account. Like, start to ask the bank, because the bank, look, let me tell you this. They want a relationship with you. Like, they really don't want a transaction with you. They really want to build a relationship with you. So go into the branch, get familiar with the branch representative, the branch manager, and start asking them, what products or services do you have that I can take advantage of? And if you see that they maybe have a 3-month CD earning this interest rate or that interest rate, or a high yield savings account, talk to them about that, so that you can see, if I put my money here, how much money am I going to get back from putting it with you guys? Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfectly good sense. And as you were saying that leads us to the next group of folks. And again, it's an unfair question, but I'm just curious what your high level thoughts are. To the person that says, okay, Shay, I reached a level where I believe I'm I'm independent. I'm not quite wealthy, but I've got 6-12 months in the bank. I'm spending less than I make, so I got more money coming in than going out. But should I be looking at long-term care for insurance? Should I maybe take a look at getting more in the real estate business? Again, this is a big unfair question. Should I be someone that maybe doing a combination? I've been trying to get more into the market right now. Someone told me to go buy silver and buy more gold, store it in my house. Again, these are generalizations. I get it. But I'm just curious on what your philosophy is, that once you do have 6 to 12 months and you want to see your money grow or your babies grow faster. I know there's no silver bullet, but what are some general statements that you might recommend to someone who's leaning in now and saying, yeah, we've done okay, but we know we can lose it in any one emergency? What would you say?
So I would tell you to get with a licensed financial professional, someone that can actually look at your particular situation. That's why I always tell people, don't take blanket information, because that may not apply to you. Your situation may be different than somebody else's situation. So you want someone that can actually see exactly what you have going on, your portfolio, your goals. You want to actually talk to someone so that they can give you prudent information according to what your situation is. Because I can sit here and tell you, oh, invest in real estate. Well, you may not want to. First of all, there's so many different transactions when it comes to investing in real estate. What do you want to do? You want to buy and hold? Do you want to fix and flip? Do you want to flip the note? So it's so many different types of real estate investing. You have to decide what is something that will be conducive to your lifestyle and something that you want. So I will highly suggest, don't just float on the internet. Don't just float on YouTube and watch videos. Actually sit down with someone that can give you information according to what your goals are and what you have going on. That's going to be your best bet.
I love it, by the way. And as we're coming down here, it's a great segue to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. I think it's a good segment. And this segment is really all about, was there ever a time or a setback you had in your life? But before we do that, for those folks that know what we're about to do, you're like, Shay, I get it. This is my favorite part. I wait to say those words. You can go ahead and say those words now. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for everyone else who's wondering, what in the LL Cool J is Shay talking about over there? Well, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past has been, or how bright and sunny the past has been, the past no longer equals our future. And so my question for the one and only Erica on the other side is really a two-part question. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, was there ever a setback or a challenge you had in your life? And how were you able to bounce back?
So when I hear today is my January 1st, I hear new beginnings. I hear clean sheet of paper. I hear let's do over. I hear that the past doesn't exist. That's what I hear when you say January the 1st.
I love it. And what was another setback or challenge you had in your life? And how were you able to bounce back from it?
So the setback that I had is when the market crashed and I lost everything. Like I said, I used to own a mortgage company. I had a bunch of investment properties. I lost everything because I didn't understand how to diversify my portfolio. All of my money was in real estate and mortgages. And I didn't understand that those two industries are tied together. So when one goes down, the other one's going to go down. I did not understand that. So my come up was when I actually met the wealthpreneur that actually taught me the different blueprint that the wealthy actually use. That was my January 1st because I got a chance to see like, oh my gosh, I let me tell you guys this. When that happened, I labeled myself as a failure. I labeled
Mm.
myself as a failure because I felt like I had lost everything. My credit scores were in the high 700s, where those suckers dropped down to like 500. The real estate and stuff that I owned, well, that was included in the bankruptcy, so that was gone. I lost everything. So to me, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Like, I need to hide. I don't want people to know this. But when I met them and they showed me it wasn't that I was a failure, I just didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the mindset and I didn't have the knowledge to make the necessary steps and put the right systems and strategies in place. Baby, it was a game changer. That was my January the 1st. So I tell people it doesn't matter where you are. I don't care if you have $2 in your bank account right now. That means absolutely nothing. Because once you get that mindset right, and develop your own personal story, your own personal relationship with money, trust me, things around you will change. And not only will they change, they will change really quick. That's my January the 1st.
Well said. One of the questions I get to ask when we have a few minutes, and we have a few minutes now, thanks for being so authentic, by the way, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And I'll frame it for the audience so they understand when I ask you to come off the mountain with the 10 commandments. That's not what we need here. You've had more mentors than you could probably remember these days. 10,000 hours. I mean, I don't know. We do that on our thumb on the weekend now, right? Like scrolling through social media. But if you had to step back, say, Shay, this is one of the best pieces of advice that was given to me that I want to share with the audience. What is it and why?
The best piece of advice for me was, Erica, if you want to go, just go somewhere, do it alone. But if you want to go fast, do it with people. Don't build a community around you. Don't think that you have to be the Lone Ranger. Like, there's someone that will always support you in anything that you want to do. Because with me, I always felt like if it's going to be done, I got to do it myself. I got to do it myself. But when I realized that was only holding me back, it took me further. When I start to bring in a team, when I start to hire coaches, when I actually brought in that community, I went further, faster. So I would say just know that you do not have to do everything by yourself. You don't have to be the Lone Ranger. You don't have to do things alone. There's always someone out there that will support you.
What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? Because that's some really good advice, by the way. Thanks for sharing. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? You seem to have a smile every time you mention the idea of money, which most of us cringe.
You know what, Shay? For me, it's impacting, leaving a legacy and impacting. My goal is to impact the next 7 generations after me because I don't want anyone else's story to begin like mine. We don't have to continue to start over in life. So the fact that I share, my systems and strategies with people, and then they can share that with their families, and they can share that with their families. They can put it in their will, their trust. This is how I want our legacy to be led. This is how I want our legacy to be remembered. Put it in paper and make sure that the people behind you follow your particular steps that you want for your family. It's a game changer because most of us haven't been given that. A lot of our families, when they passed on recipes. They didn't pass on assets. And they dang sure didn't have instructions on how they wanted those assets moved in that family. So to me, that is the biggest thing that gives me so much joy, is to know that it's bigger than me. And that the next set of people, they have an option. They don't have to be born not knowing. They can be born with that blueprint already handed to them.
We're looking over your shoulders, you're talking, and we're seeing it says behind you, she created a life she loved. It's obviously there. We can see it. We want to know the significance, why that's part of your creed and part of your philosophy. When I saw it in the bio, I was like, whoa, I like that. We created what we want. Take a moment to talk about that if you would.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the pencil is in your hand. You have been given the power to write your own story. And your story does not have to look like anyone else's. I had to realize that for myself, because at one point I didn't know this, but my story looked like my parents' story, especially when it came to money, because we didn't have conversations in the household. So automatically, I was picking up patterns that I saw growing up as a kid. And then once I got present to, like I said, the conversation, developing your own relationship to money, I got a chance to see Erica. That was their story. This doesn't have to be your story. And that's where my freedom and empowerment came from, because I get to choose. I get to choose how I want to handle money. I get to choose, what money means to me. That's my choice. That's my story. I created that myself.
I love it, by the way. What does success look like for you these days, by the way? Success means different things to different people. What does success look like for you, and what does it feel like for you?
Success to me is when a client comes to me disempowered when it comes to their finances, all over the place, making very good money in their business, but not tracking their numbers. I mean, everything's just at a disarray, and they're very disempowered around their finances. Success to me is when they walk away, they're confident, they have a better relationship with money, they have a plan for their family. That's success to me, because I'm like, oh my God, like, you're not the same person that you were when we first started working together. You're a totally different person. And now that you turn your light on, you can share your light with other people. And that's how it continues to ripple. That's success to me.
I love it, by the way. Thanks so much. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Well, first, before I do that, when you're not out saving the world, what do you do for fun these days? By the way, when you're not helping people create wealth, what do you do to kick back, relax, and just enjoy life?
So I love a good glass of wine, and I love some jazz. I love some jazz. I love a good glass of wine. Sometimes I'll go out to the park and just ride a bike. Just being out in nature, just letting the wind blow in my hair and just singing in the wind. I'm goofy like that.
And what
So
kind
that's a
of
big
what kind of jazz do
thing.
you like? Do you listen to smooth jazz? Right?
Oh
What
my
type of
gosh, I love
jazz?
smooth. I absolutely love smooth jazz. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Ah,
that's
that's
fun to me. Just something laid back. I don't have to be someone doing something all the time. Just little simple things I really enjoy.
that's kind of cool, by the way. So as we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? And I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. And number two, how can folks connect with you? Like, where should they go if they want to stay in this conversation? They want to connect with you. Is there a website, webpage, a gift? What should they do? As we all lean forward to listen in now.
So, Shay, I'm super excited about this. Actually, my company has partnered with another company, and we're in affiliation with Experian. So now I'll be able to offer my platform. I'm offering partnerships and affiliates. So for people that actually want to offer funding to their community, I can actually partner with them so that they can do that, and we do all of the work for them. Or if it's for people that, like, oh, wait a minute, such and such needs funding for their business, or such and such needs funding for their business, we can offer the opportunity to them as well. And if anyone has any questions or anyone would like to get in contact with me, I'm Ask Erica Hill 1 across all platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, uh, Instagram, and also YouTube.
Wow. Well, let me say two things. Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you're giving us the most precious gift you have, which is your time. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Shay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because again, without you, we don't have a show. So we appreciate you allowing us to stream into your home, or while you're fixing dinner, or while you're driving, or maybe you listen to the replay. And I never get tired of reminding you, every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming, or you're on the uprise, like you're going to that next level of success. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. We out of here. Thanks a lot, Erica. We'll see you
You're
on
welcome.
the other side.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.